Letting Go After 60, the beginning of a freer, happier. Chapter. Reaching the age of 60 is not the end of the road. It's a powerful transition into a new chapter of life that holds the potential for deep fulfillment, freedom, and joy. After decades of working hard, raising families, and managing countless responsibilities, many older adults find themselves at a crossroads, wondering what comes next. Society often sends mixed signals about aging, portraying it as a decline or a period of slowing down. But in truth, the years after 60 can be a time of awakening, if we allow ourselves to let go of the things that no longer serve us. Letting go does not mean giving up. Instead, it's an act of courage, a conscious choice to free ourselves from outdated beliefs, unhelpful habits, and the weight of expectations we've carried for far too long. Many people enter this stage of life still bound by fears about money, driven by habits formed in their working years, or trapped in patterns that keep them from truly enjoying their time. Others feel guilty for resting, uncertain about their worth when they are no longer productive in the traditional sense. But life after 60 isn't meant to be defined by fear, guilt, or limitation. It's a sacred time to prioritize peace, purpose, and pleasure. It's a chance to ask ourselves not just what we should do, but who we want to be. And often, the path to becoming that version of ourselves begins with letting go. In the following sections, we'll explore 9 specific things that people over 60 are encouraged to release. Not to lose something, but to gain something much more valuable: time, joy, connection, and meaning. These aren't just suggestions for a better retirement. They are invitations to rediscover yourself and embrace the freedom that comes with age. Because sometimes, the most powerful way to move forward is to gently but firmly let go. Stop saving out of fear, start spending with purpose. After a lifetime of working, budgeting, and saving, it's natural for people over 60 to feel cautious with their money. Many grew up during uncertain times, when financial stability was never guaranteed, and the habit of saving for a rainy day became deeply ingrained. But what happens when the rainy days never come, or when they do, and you're still too afraid to use the resources you've worked so hard to accumulate? The truth is, continuing to save money out of fear can silently steal the joy and peace that this stage of life is meant to bring. This doesn't mean being reckless with your finances or ignoring real concerns about future needs. Financial security is important, and thoughtful planning is essential, especially with longer life expectancies and rising healthcare costs. But what many people over 60 need to recognize is that there's a difference between responsible saving and fear-based hoarding. If you've done the work, if you've budgeted, invested, and prepared, it's time to trust that foundation and allow yourself to benefit from it. Too often, older adults live in a constant state of what if? What if I run out of money? What if I face a health emergency? What if I become a burden? These worries are real, but they shouldn't dictate every decision. If you're fortunate enough to have savings, those funds are there not just to survive, but to live. Whether it's traveling to a place you've always wanted to see, taking a class you never had time for, helping a grandchild through college, or simply enjoying a dinner out with friends, spending money on experiences and joy is not wasteful. It's life-affirming. Moreover, continuing to live in scarcity mode can impact your mental and emotional health. It reinforces a mindset of lack, even when abundance is within reach. Over time, this can lead to anxiety, isolation, and even regret. Instead, consider shifting from a fear-based financial mindset to one of intentional living. Ask yourself, what matters to me now? What would make my life richer, not in dollars, but in meaning? Letting go of fear-driven saving doesn't mean letting go of caution. It means choosing freedom over fear. You've spent a lifetime preparing, now give yourself permission to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Stop spending on things that don't bring you joy. Align your money with meaning. As we get older, our priorities naturally shift. After decades of raising families, paying off mortgages, and working to build a stable life, many people over 60 find themselves with more freedom, both in time and money. But with that freedom often comes the habit of unconscious spending, shaped by routines or outdated beliefs about what we should want or buy. Too many older adults continue to spend money on things that don't actually bring joy, fulfillment, or purpose into their lives. It's time to change that. The truth is, just because you can afford something doesn't mean it adds value to your life. Whether it's constantly buying clothes you rarely wear, filling your home with decor that no longer feels meaningful, or spending on memberships and subscriptions you no longer use, every dollar spent on something that doesn't spark joy is a missed opportunity to invest in something that does. Joyful spending isn't about extravagance, it's about intention. Ask yourself, what purchases genuinely make me feel alive, connected, or inspired? Maybe it's a monthly lunch with old friends, gardening supplies that feed your passion, or a workshop that teaches you something new. For some, it might be simplifying, choosing fewer possessions but ones that truly matter. When you stop spending on autopilot, you gain clarity on what really enriches your life. Many older adults grew up with the belief that having more stuff, more status, more security would lead to happiness. But as the years pass, we learn that more doesn't always mean better. In fact, letting go of excessive spending can be incredibly liberating. It creates space, physically, mentally, and emotionally, for things that truly matter. By shifting your spending habits to reflect your values and passions, you not only save money, but you also create a more authentic and joyful life. There's no need to feel guilty about past purchases that didn't serve you. What matters now is moving forward with greater awareness. Every financial decision is a chance to honor who you are today, not who you used to be or who society says you should be. Stop investing in things that leave you feeling empty. Instead, focus on what lights you up. At this stage of life, joy is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Let your money reflect that. Stop trading your time for money. Reclaim life's most precious currency. There comes a point in life when time becomes far more valuable than money. After a lifetime of working, saving, and planning, many people, in their 60s and beyond, continue to operate in the same mindset they had during their working years, one where time is sacrificed in the name of financial gain. Whether it's taking on side jobs, micromanaging investments, or constantly worrying about making more, this habit of trading precious hours for extra income can quietly rob you of the very life you worked so hard to create. It's not that earning money is wrong. It's about realizing that the equation has changed. When you were younger, trading time for money made sense. You had responsibilities, dreams to build, and a future to secure. But now, your time is your most limited resource. Unlike money, you can't earn it back. Every hour spent chasing more income is an hour not spent enjoying the people, places, and passions that bring you joy. This doesn't mean you need to stop being productive or doing meaningful work, but it does mean being more selective about how you spend your time. Are you saying yes to things out of fear? Fear of running out of money, fear of becoming irrelevant, fear of feeling unproductive? Or are you using your time in ways that energize and fulfill you? These are important questions to ask, especially when society often measures worth by output and earnings. Consider this. What if you valued your time the way you once valued your paycheck? Would you still trade your morning for a few dollars? If it meant missing a sunrise walk, a long coffee with a friend, or a moment of quiet reflection? Would you still prioritize tasks that drain you over those that bring peace, growth, or laughter? The beauty of this stage of life is the freedom to choose differently. You've already proven yourself, you've already contributed. Now it's time to shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of intentional abundance. Not abundance of things, but of time well spent. Let go of the compulsion to fill every hour with productivity. Instead, fill your days with meaning. Let your schedule reflect your values, not your fears. The richest life isn't built on money alone. It's built on moments. And now is your moment to reclaim them. First, stop postponing experiences. Live while you still can. One of the quietest regrets that creeps in with age is not about the things we did, but about the meaningful experiences we kept putting off. Maybe next year, we say. When things settle down, we promise. But years pass, and before we realize it, the chance to do those things slips away. Life, especially after 60, is not a dress rehearsal. It is the final, most precious act. This is not the time to delay joy, adventure, or connection. It is the time to finally live the life you dreamed about while you were busy building it. Postponing experiences may have made sense in your 30s or 40s, when raising children, working full-time, and saving for the future took priority. But if you continue to delay now, you risk missing out on the richness life still has to offer. That road trip you've always wanted to take, the cooking class you thought about joining, the friend you meant to visit. These aren't luxuries. They're essential parts of a life well lived. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that experiences require perfect conditions, perfect health, perfect finances, perfect timing. But perfection rarely arrives. What does arrive, however, are opportunities, often disguised as ordinary days. Waiting for the right time often means letting time pass unused and unlived. And while you may not be able to do everything the way you imagined in your youth, that doesn't mean the experience is any less valuable. A slower-paced journey, a shorter hike, or a new adventure adapted to your current lifestyle can still bring immense joy and lasting memories. There's also a subtle fear behind postponement, fear of discomfort, of stepping outside the familiar, of investing in moments that don't provide tangible returns. But experiences are not measured in dollars or accomplishments. They are measured in laughter, awe, connection, and the stories you carry forward. Every new experience adds a layer of richness to your life that no material object ever could. So take the trip, make the call, try the dance class, or simply say yes to something new. Give yourself permission to experience life now, not someday, not later but today, because life doesn't wait and neither should you. When you choose to live fully in the present, you honor the time you have left and give yourself the greatest gift of all, a life filled not just with years, but with moments that matter. Stop neglecting your health. It's the foundation. Of everything after 60, nothing matters more than your health. Not your savings, not your possessions, not even your plans. Without your physical and mental well-being, everything else becomes harder to enjoy. And yet far too many people continue to put their health last, brushing aside warning signs, delaying checkups, ignoring pain, or maintaining habits that slowly chip away at their vitality. It's easy to think, I've made it this far, or it's too late to change, but the truth is, it's never too late to choose better for your body and mind. The biggest lie we often tell ourselves is that we're too busy or too old to prioritize our health. But good health isn't just about living longer. It's about living better. It's about waking up with energy, being able to walk without pain, thinking clearly, enjoying your meals, your conversations, your hobbies. These are not luxuries. They are the basic building blocks of a life well lived. And they all start with how you treat yourself each day, what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress. Some people spend years accumulating wealth, only to spend that wealth later on trying to recover their health. But What if we invested in our bodies and minds the same way we do in our finances? Regular movement, even just walking 30 minutes a day, can do wonders for heart health, brain function, and emotional well-being. Eating more whole foods and fewer processed ones can drastically improve digestion, mood, and immunity. Simple routines like stretching, breathing exercises, or getting outside in the sun can restore more than just your body. They restore your spirit. Taking care of your health is not selfish, it's responsible. When you feel better, you show up better for others. You're more present, more patient, more joyful. Your loved ones don't want your money or your stuff nearly as much as they want you, alive, vibrant, and engaged. So don't wait for a diagnosis or a scare to finally start paying attention. This is your invitation to listen to your body and honor what it needs. Book the checkup. Drink more water. Move more. Rest when you need to. Nourish your mind with positivity and connection. Because the longer you care for your health, the longer and better your life will be. And that's a gift worth giving yourself every single day. Stop caring what other people think. Your life is yours to live. One of the greatest freedoms that comes with age is the ability to finally stop living for the approval of others. And yet, many people still carry the burden of outside opinions well into their later years. Afraid to wear what they truly like, try something new, speak their truth, or pursue long-held dreams simply because they fear judgment. But here's a truth worth embracing. Most people are far too busy thinking about themselves to truly focus on you, and those who do judge, their opinions are more about them than they ever were about you. By the time you reach your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you've earned the right to stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You've lived through enough seasons, faced enough challenges, and proven enough to yourself. It's time to put down the weight of expectations and pick up the joy of authenticity. Every time you silence your own desires in favor of what someone else might think, you deny yourself a little more happiness. And at this stage in life, happiness is not a luxury. It's essential. Think about it. When you look back on your life, will you really care if someone raised an eyebrow because you danced in public, wore bold colors, or took a solo trip? Or will you care more about the moments when you felt alive, free and truly yourself? The harsh truth is that people will judge no matter what you do, so you might as well do what you want. Let them talk. You're not here to meet their expectations. You're here to fulfill your own purpose. There is immense peace in finally letting go of the need to impress. You don't need to explain your choices, justify your joy, or prove your worth to anyone. The more you live in alignment with who you truly are, the more fulfilling your life becomes. Not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. Whether it's how you dress, how you spend your time, or what you choose to believe, let your life be a reflection of your values, not someone else's opinions. So go ahead, laugh loudly, love deeply, and live boldly. Wear the hat, take the class, sing out of tune. Be unapologetically you, because the only approval you ever really needed was your own. And once you give yourself that, the rest no longer matters. 7. Stop consuming too much negative news. Protect your peace in today's world. The constant barrage of negative news can weigh heavily on the mind and spirit. It seems like everywhere you turn, there's another story of crisis, tragedy, or conflict. While staying informed is important, overexposure to negative news can have a detrimental effect on your mental and emotional well-being. It creates a sense of fear, anxiety, and hopelessness that over time erodes your peace of mind and enjoyment of life. And as we age, it's especially crucial to protect our emotional health and maintain a positive outlook. It's easy to fall into the trap of endlessly scrolling through headlines or watching news channels that focus on the most distressing stories. But what if, instead of consuming all that negativity, you took a step back and considered the impact it has on you? Constant exposure to negative information doesn't help solve problems. In fact, it often amplifies feelings of helplessness and sadness. What you feed your mind influences your mood and perspective. If you're filling your mind with despair and fear, it's no surprise if those emotions start to shape your daily life. As we get older, our time becomes more precious. We can choose how to spend it, and perhaps one of the most valuable choices is to decide to limit the time we give to negativity. There's no denying that bad things happen in the world, but not everything around us is negative. There are still stories of kindness, resilience, and hope. These are the narratives that can inspire and uplift, not drag us down. So why not focus on those stories instead? Seek out sources of positivity, whether it's uplifting news, personal stories of triumph, or activities that bring you joy and peace. The goal is to find balance. Stay informed, but don't drown in negativity. Moreover, turning off the constant stream of distressing news creates space for you to focus on things that truly matter to your life. Rather than obsessing over global turmoil, invest your energy in nurturing your health, relationships, and personal growth. There's a certain freedom in choosing not to allow every piece of bad news to shape your worldview. By focusing on what you can control and maintaining a positive perspective, you cultivate an environment where peace, contentment, and resilience can thrive. Ultimately, the choice is yours. You can either let the news control your emotions, or you can take control of your own peace of mind. Embrace the idea that your well-being matters more than any headline, and give yourself the gift of mental clarity and emotional peace by choosing not to consume too much negative news. Stop comparing yourself to others in today's digital world where social media dominates much of our lives. It has become increasingly common for individuals to compare their lives to others. Whether it's someone's career, appearance, wealth, or the lifestyle they portray online, this constant comparison can be a source of frustration and insecurity. We see highlights of other people's lives and often assume they are more successful, happier, or more fulfilled than we are. However, this perception is often skewed and doesn't reflect the full reality of their lives. People usually post only their best moments, creating an unrealistic portrayal of perfection that can easily lead to feelings of inadequacy. The danger in comparing ourselves to others is that it distracts us from focusing on our own growth and achievements. It fosters a sense of envy and dissatisfaction, leaving us feeling as though we're not doing enough or not measuring up to those around us. But the truth is, everyone is on their own unique journey. Your experiences, values, and goals are different from others, and it's important to recognize that your worth is not determined by how you measure up to someone else. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we free ourselves from the unnecessary stress and pressure of living up to external expectations. Instead, we begin to value our own progress, no matter how small. Success is subjective, and only you can define what it looks like for you. By focusing inward, you become more attuned to your personal strengths, passions, and desires, leading to a deeper sense of fulfillment. Moreover, comparison often keeps us stuck in a cycle of dissatisfaction. The more we compare, the more we reinforce feelings of inadequacy, which can stunt our growth. On the other hand, when we shift our attention to our own goals and the progress we've made, we can take pride in our own accomplishments, big or small. One powerful way to break the habit of comparison is to practice gratitude. By acknowledging and appreciating the good things in your life, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you have. Additionally, surrounding yourself with people who support and uplift you, rather than those who trigger feelings of competition, can help foster a healthy sense of self-worth. Remember, life is not a race, and everyone has their own timeline for achieving their dreams. Embrace your own path and stop letting comparisons dictate your happiness. Stop overcommitting yourself, In our modern, fast-paced society, it's easy to fall into the trap of overcommitting ourselves. We are often pulled in many directions by the demands of work, family, friends, and various social obligations. There's a common pressure to say yes to every request or invitation, believing that doing so will make us seem more capable, likable, or valuable. While it's natural to want to be helpful and please others, constantly overcommitting can lead to burnout, stress, and a lack of balance in our lives. It's essential to recognize that time is one of our most valuable resources, and how we spend it greatly impacts our well-being. When we overcommit, we spread ourselves too thin, which can leave us feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. We may find ourselves running from one task to another without truly focusing on any of them. This divided attention not only affects the quality of our work, but also leaves us feeling unfulfilled. Constantly saying yes to everything means we are also saying no to ourselves to rest, and to the things that matter most to us, such as personal time or spending quality moments with loved ones. Learning to say no is a crucial skill in maintaining a healthy lifestyle. It's not about being rude or selfish, but rather about protecting your time and energy for what truly matters. Setting boundaries allows you to prioritize what's most important, ensuring that you have enough time to focus on your goals and your well-being. It's okay to turn down invitations or requests if they don't align with your values, or if they would cause you undue stress. Saying no also teaches others to respect your time and helps prevent feelings of resentment from building up. Moreover, by overcommitting ourselves, we often neglect self-care, which is essential for maintaining physical and mental health. Taking breaks, resting, and engaging in activities that bring us joy are all necessary for rejuvenating our minds and bodies. Without time for relaxation and reflection, we can quickly become drained and less effective in all aspects of our lives. In the end, the key to avoiding overcommitment lies in knowing your limits and being comfortable with setting boundaries. It's about understanding that you don't need to do everything for everyone, and sometimes the most empowering choice is to say no in order to say yes to yourself. Prioritizing your well-being and giving yourself the space to rest and recharge is not only beneficial for your mental and physical health, but also allows you to show up more fully in the things that truly matter to you. As we age, it becomes even more important to prioritize our well-being and happiness by letting go of habits that no longer serve us. The journey to a fulfilling life in our later years starts with shifting our mindset and making choices that reflect what truly matters. By stopping the fear-driven need to save, we can embrace the freedom of living in the present and enjoy the fruits of our labor. It's equally important to stop spending on things that don't bring joy, so we can focus on what truly enhances our quality of life. Rather than trading time for money, we should make time for the experiences that enrich us, whether it's traveling, learning something new, or spending time with loved ones. Taking care of our health is non-negotiable. As we age, neglecting our physical and mental well-being can lead to further challenges. By shifting our attention from external judgments and instead focusing on our own happiness and satisfaction, we unlock the potential for true contentment. Additionally, by reducing exposure to negative news and overcommitting ourselves, we protect our mental and emotional health, which in turn helps us age more gracefully. It's never too late to start making changes that can improve our lives. Small steps such as saying no to unnecessary stress or embracing self-care can make all the difference. Embrace the wisdom that comes with age, prioritize your happiness, and make choices that nurture your health and joy. For more tips on living a fulfilling and empowered life, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's journey together toward a healthier, happier future.